Hi, I'm Pastor Peter from Sweden. It's the day before Christmas and I have my red Christmas tie on, and there's plenty of people here. I don't know if you can see. I think it's safe to assume many of them are doing some last-minute Christmas shopping, probably. Even lining up outside the stores to get that perfect gift that they are looking for. Christmas is about gifts, right? Maybe you wrote a list before Christmas of things you wanted, or maybe you have kids and you received a list and you had to try to figure out what you could get, what you could afford, and how much you should give your kids. But Christmas really isn't about the Christmas gifts that we find underneath the tree or in the stocking. It's really about the gifts that we received 2,000 years ago. When Jesus was born, we know that he received gifts a couple of days later, but he also brought gifts for us. Really much more valuable than the gold and the incense and the myrrh that the Magi brought to him. In Isaiah chapter 9, we read about some of these gifts. We read that the Messiah, the small child being born, will be called Wonderful Counselor, will be Mighty God, and Prince of Peace. How are those gifts to us? Well, we have a wonderful counselor. We have Jesus Christ that we can turn to any time. When we are anxious about not having enough money to make Christmas as special as we want it to be, maybe. Or when we're anxious about Christmas dinner being peaceful and relatives not fighting. Or when we see spiking COVID numbers, we might get worried about our livelihoods, our health, or society at large. We can turn to our wonderful counselor because he can counsel and comfort us. He can say more than, things are probably going to be all right, don't worry, because he's also mighty God. Isaiah tells us this. Jesus has the power to help. He is almighty, although during Christmas we think of him only as a small child that is being put in a manger. When he helps thoroughly and completely and perfectly. He's also the Prince of Peace. People lack peace always, but some, especially during Christmas time, there's a lot of pressure. And when we conclude the year, calendar year, we look back and maybe we're not happy with the year that went by. About things we did, about things we said, about things that we had hoped would turn out differently. Well, we can turn to our Prince of Peace, because even in a world full of war and cruelty and evil, he is the Prince of Peace that brings peace to our hearts. So even though the world around us may seem chaotic, if we have peace with God through Christ, then that's the only thing that ultimately really matters. So I wish you a peaceful Christmas and a peaceful New Year. Thanks for spending time with me today, and God bless your day.